I'm Reverend Karen LeBlanc, and I'm the minister at the First Unitarian Church here in New Bedford. Our church has been a welcoming and inclusive and safe place for our LGBTQIA+ members and visitors and friends for many decades before we were even able to identify all those letters in a row. The first gay wedding that I attended, which was only symbolic at the time, of course, was in 1994 at our beautiful castle on the corner of Union and County, where I had no inkling that someday I would be the minister and continue the work of welcoming all people and treating everyone with respect. And I love that I get to make a living by loving and valuing everyone equally. I stand before you to address a grave and pressing issue that demands our collective attention: violence against transgender individuals. It is disheartening and shameful to witness the persistent and alarming rates of violence directed toward this community, thanks in large part to unfair legislation and outright lies. This issue not only challenges our commitment to human rights, but also calls for immediate and sustained action. Transgender individuals disproportionately are faced with high levels of violence, discrimination, and harassment, from verbal abuse to physical attacks and, of course, murder. The spectrum of aggression against the trans community is broad and deeply disturbing. These acts not only violate the fundamental principles of human dignity, but also underscore the urgent need for systemic change. It is essential to acknowledge that violence against trans people intersects with other forms of oppression, like racism, sexism, and homophobia. Trans individuals who belong to marginalized communities, as Donnie said, often bear the brunt of multiple layers of discrimination, amplifying their vulnerability. This intersectionality requires a comprehensive and nuanced approach in our efforts to address and eradicate this violence against transgender people. One of the root causes of this violence is a lack of understanding and acceptance. Misinformation, prejudice, and stereotypes contribute to an environment that fosters hostility. And it's our duty to challenge these misconceptions, to educate ourselves and others, and to promote empathy and understanding by fostering an atmosphere of inclusivity and respect, so we can dismantle the foundations upon which this transphobia thrives. Our legal frameworks, as we talked about already, also play a crucial role in combating violence against these individuals, and we have to advocate for and support legislation that explicitly protects the rights of trans people. Laws should not only condemn acts of violence, but also address the underlying discrimination and bias that fuels such acts. A legal system that recognizes and protects the rights of transgender individuals is a cornerstone in building a more just and equitable society. And governments that actively legislate against our trans brothers and sisters, putting them in danger and sending the message that they are not welcomed or not valued, is not what we want. Fostering a culture of allyship is paramount, probably more important than ever. As allies, we must amplify the voices of our trans friends, provide a platform for their stories, stand alongside them in solidarity, and protect their right to live, their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By doing so, we challenge the pervasive narrative that allows this violence to persist. It is not enough to be non-violent. We must actively work towards dismantling the systems that perpetuate such devastating harm. We must hold our own leaders here in New Bedford and our surrounding communities to the highest standards of support for all of its people, and call out hate whenever and wherever we see it. The media also plays a pivotal role in shaping public opinion, and it's crucial for the media to responsibly represent and report on transgender issues and individualism, avoiding sensationalism, misinformation, disinformation, and the perpetuation of harmful stereotypes. I challenge our journalists and multi-platform media to do better. I'm tired of hearing obvious lies being reported and repeated, like the fallacy that small children are getting sexual reassignment surgery, which is just not true. When those kinds of stories are immediately called out, it helps to stop this kind of violence, and it helps to address truth. And a more accurate portrayal and positive portrayal will contribute to changing attitudes and reduce the stigma around being trans in our community. Violence against transgender people is a stark reminder of the work that lies ahead in our pursuit of a just and equitable world. It demands our unwavering commitment to understanding, empathy, and action by challenging these discriminatory beliefs, advocating for legal protections, fostering allies, and influencing media representation. We can collectively work toward a future where every individual, regardless of their gender identity, can live free from fear and violence. It is our collective responsibility, people, and together we can be agents of change and stand on the side of love. Thank you.